Okay, so our last activity, we are okay. So in our last activity, we talk about the JavaScript work function. Especially, we talk about how to use different type of the function, and also we also talk about some of the object, like this object we used the last time, which we call what? The mathematics work object. So we want to continue from those particular work object now in JavaScript, because this will be our last topic on the work on the JavaScript now. So last, I said there are many type of object we have in JavaScript that have a lot of function. We talk about the math work object. You see, we have a math object. We also think we have what we call a string work object too. Apart from the string object, we also have what we call the date work object in JavaScript. Apart from date object, we have what we call window object. We have document object, we have history object, we also have a location object. So there are many types of the JavaScript object that can be used to perform a different task. So all these particular objects, they have some function that already work. They have a lot of code, they already performing a different task. Even though if I return back to what to online here now, to Google for some of the JavaScript object, you see that there are many objects available for the JavaScript, and at the same time, the some of the most important object too. Like here now, we have some of these objects like what? There's also an array object too. They get it now, and this is exactly where we are coming to now. Here, the date and time object, the mass object, and also okay, these are the dates and time and mass subject. And also we also have a location world object. Even though we have the history world object, navigation, but the most commonly used object is what we want to talk about here now. We have seen the mass object too. Now, so the mass object you say can be used to perform different type of the mathematical operation. If you want to find the absolute value for a negative number, we can use what the ABS for object again. And if you want to generate a random number, you can also use what the mass dot what random, which is an example of the code we implement the last class to get a random number. This code dey generate a random number between number from 1 to 50. And apart from that again, we are still going to look at another type of object now, which we call a window object. Window location object. So location object is the object that can be used to call another page in a JavaScript. If you want to use JavaScript to load another HTML page or any page online, we can use location object by specifying the name of the page we want system to display. That is the one you use location object. And apart from window location object again, we also have history object that can be able to show the different number of pages people already visited. So now, but one important object I want us to look at now is the date object. Date object can be used to return the current date on the computer system, and the date need to specify in the form of the year, the month, and sometimes the time. We can also use a date string. If we are displaying the date now by say date string, bypass the date to this particular the new date object here now. And at the same time, we can also display the current date in JavaScript again by use the new date. If for example now somebody wants us to do to design a JavaScript program that can return the current date, we can use the date object. So I'm going to now let me preview the last page so that you can see if you can use it to implement this object here now. So this is our last page, and I want us to start creating another page that can be used to implement different type of the object here now. Okay, so right here, calculate and generate a random number. You can see that's it. Okay, now so we are going to create another one, HTML now. I am going to save this file. I will save this HTML page as well. Object. I'll call it one JS underscore one object. That's JavaScript object now. Dot HTML or object JS object underscore JS. Okay, good. That is it. And I'm going to create another one, JavaScript web function. So this object.js now, I want us to use a different type of the button here now. So I'm going to use different type of the button to represent a different object. So, and that means I will remove each of these row. Okay. So the first one here, I'm going to call it what? I'm going to call it what? Display date. Okay. Display date. This is going to be what? Get uh current date. Get current date. Open and close bracket. Okay. So this time around now, we need to create a JavaScript function that I'm going to display the current date. So I'm creating my new JavaScript function here now inside this script, and I'm going to call it what? Okay, I'm going to call it object.js. Okay, so in the object.js JavaScript here, I'm creating the first object here. Okay, my function get to function get function get current date. Okay, so in the current date now, I want to display the current date. Once I click on the button, I want it to display the current date. So the button I'm going to click is this button we have here now, display date. So, and as I click on the display date, I want to display the current date by using what is JavaScript. So I'm still going to make some correction here now, and some adjustment here by changing this one to what, using JS object. Okay, so here now, so using JS object. Using JS object. Okay. Bye. Okay, so I'm just trying to make adjustment to this page first to change the topic title here to object and using JS for object. So this using JS object appeared twice here now. Okay, so that's why I just changed. So now I want situation whereby that one, when the user click on this display button, system should display the current date by using the JavaScript object. So I already created a JavaScript file for this HTML page, and JavaScript file is called object. Okay, so I have to link my HTML page to that JavaScript file here now. So by changing this function to what? To object. Okay, good. Now, so after done that, I will now write my JavaScript code to display the date inside this. So to display the date now, the JavaScript code we need to use, like I said there before, is this current or current date. That means I'm going to just create I'll create the object for this particular current date here by say what, maybe var today. Okay, that's my variable equal to new or new date. So this date object is case sensitive, and this is how you spell it. After that, I can now say what, document dot write. I want to display the date now, so in quotation I want it in my HTML h2. Okay, HTML h2. I will now say +1 plus today. That's where I store the current date or information to. So then I will close my h2 tag here now. That is it, and my semicolon. So once I save this page, I can now come by and click on what, display. Oh, what is that? No message appear. Document write today. A2. Okay, I did not close this tab properly here. You can see this error. Okay, so I return back here and I try to run. Can you see now? System can display today is Thursday. That is it. But when you are using the date object in JavaScript, you can extract any part of the date again in the JavaScript again. And to extract any part of the date, we have some other date object now. You can see we can create a date and time in this particular format again to get it now. To extract other part of the date, whether year or month or day is possible, I can use a method like this to get the day, get date, display the day of the month. When I say get day, display the number of the day into the weeks. That means day. So when I say get month, so all this one can display a different type of the date value. Like for example now, so they call it extracting the date part. I copy this and I'm returning back to my JavaScript here to get this output in a different format now. So, but this time around now, I'm not using the alert that is there. You get it now. Since I've turned this one to today, I'll be using this information here now one by one. So this is going to be what? Okay, first one, I say document dot write. I say get today dot dot one get date like this. You can see that's the first one I want to display, and the instruction here mean this one display the date of the month, the display date of the month now. So that is one. Two again. Okay, this one, this should be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now, so get day is the next one, just like what you see here. Get day is the next one here now. Okay, so here now go to be what? Today dot one dot get what? Get day. That's another function. Today dot get what? Day. And this one display what? The day of the week. Like today now is Thursday. What is the day of the week for Thursday now? Is it 4th or 5th day of the week? Okay, and we have get month dot get month again. So dot get month and open and close bracket, and this display the month of the year. It display the month of the current date. And one information about the month is that one, the month system display the month starting from what? From 0. to 11, even though day start from 0 to 1 to 6. And to display the year, we say get full year now. Then go to the dot, get what? Full year. They get it now. And open and close for bracket. And here now we display the what? The year in what? In four digits. Okay. So all these are the other type of the date function we can use. Do you get now? So we can still get, apart from this one here, there are other function you can use for the date. If I come here, when I say dot one, you can say get date, get hours. If somebody says you return the time alone, I can say get hours, get minutes, get seconds, or get time too. So the current date, current time now I can display it. For example now, let's say apart from this, I want to display the hours. The current hours here now is possible now. Do you get it now? So what I'm going to do, I say dot get what hours. Do you get it now? Can say dot get hours. There are many ways I can use it. So here now, I can now say, okay, display the time. That's the part I want us to do here now. To display the time here, I'll now say var hour hr equal to what? Get hour here. Okay. I'll say var minute equal to what? Dot today dot get what? Minute. Okay. So and var second equal to today dot get seconds. Can you see now? So once I've got each of these like this HOR, so I can now display each of those values here one by one. Now it's going to be one HOR that represent the hour. Okay, HOR. So after the HOR, that's for the hour now. I want something like I will now say okay plus this hyphen. Okay, that's from column. From column now. And now say plus again minute and plus what? Column again and plus again seconds, and that is it, and plus column again. That is it now. So this is going to give us what? The current hour. So if for example now to do this one, I can put a small title here and a comment to let what we do here now. So comment here is going to show that one. I'm extracting time. I'm extracting what? Time part. Or I'm extracting time part to display current time. Okay. To display current time. That is. So here now I'm going to say what? Current time. Current time now. So that is it. So when I say this page, let's see how the date will extract work and the time. I click on date like this. You can see this is the current time now, 2024-11. And this is the one, the year. This is the one. Today is the 4th day of the month because it start from the 0. You get now. Today is the 7th of the month because the month start from 0. So instead of seeing 8 now, system is show 7 because here they already said that one. The month is going to display starting from the one, from the 0. The month display starting from the 0 to 11. So that means 0 is January, while February is 1, March is 2. So these are the how we use what? This calendar. But if I'm going to get the word something like a time again in a correct format, I want to extract the time instead of this particular word date again. We can do something more like this. Sorry, I want to extract the date instead of the time. Say display current date or today's what? Today's date now. And that's going to be what? Hours will be get, and the minute, I say minute now, plus sorry, today I say get what? Get day, get date. That's the first thing. Get what? Date. Okay. And then go to be get what? Month. Okay. And then go to be get what? Full year. Full year now. So this is going to be what? Full year. This will be full. Okay. Yeah. Then go to be year. This will now be year. This will now be month. Okay. And this will be what? Day. So the day here I'm going to store day of the month. So that's going to be something like this now. I'll put day here. Instead of this, I will say what? Hyphen. Okay. The month now, I'll put month here. And also say what? Hyphen. And this is going to be what? Year now. That's all. But for the month now, because instead of day to show Z, okay, yeah, for the month, I must add 1 to the month. By say what? Plus what? Plus 1. Okay, let me see how this one work. So when I come back here again, can you see now? 21/8/2025. So we can push on in JavaScript to get it. That's the JavaScript object for what? For the date. So apart from the date object too, like we say we have string objects. Yes, that string is another important because we can use string object to perform some tasks to manipulate what the string in JavaScript again. We can use string object to manipulate the strings in JavaScript. So like, okay, yeah. So let me quickly look for some of the example of the one of the string one object here now. Yeah, JS string. We have length, like I can tell you number of the letter we enter. We have something like what object that can be able to do what that's going to uh, this upper and lower. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. So if another form in our form here now, okay, I want to accept a value here. I can use string object to convert any value to capital or small letter. So let me add another button for the string object to here now. So here now, this button for the display. Okay, here again, then going to be a button for string object now. So the string object. Say submit. So yes, submit. So get a string function. So that's the I'm using get string function now. Okay, so when I click on this, I want us to input some value here, like a message. And this one message, and this is going to be one a message, and until enter enter value. Okay, so enter value now. That's the message I want to hear. So once you enter the value, this is going to be one or result of string object, result of string object. Now that one I want to see here. I'm calling this one what feedback, and here too feedback. Here to feedback. So I save this. So good. So when I click on submit, I'll enter the value here. Let me change the arrangement. So let me rearrange this information now. So this one will come before the button. Yeah. Okay. So you enter a value, the string object was good. The string object converted. That is it. And then another subtitle I want to have here in this message again. That's going to be I'm using label for this. So that's going to be label. I call it was string manipulation. String manipulation. So I save. So that's it now. So when I enter anything here as a string, I say well God be okay. I say okay. Oh, it's read only. Let me see where I'm entering the value to now. Okay, so I can't enter anything here. I remove read only there. Good. So here now back to here, and I say well God be with us. So when I click on this submit, system can manipulate it by convert it to capital letter. We can use string object to do that. So how do we do that? We are collecting this message. I already say get string function. So I can come down here and create another function here now. Call what? Function what? Get what? Get string here now. Oh, so here now I'm going to say what? Text equal to document dot get element by id. So that's message. Okay, that is message. So I'm gonna say dot value dot value. Okay, so then I'm gonna say what new text will be equal to what text dot to upper. Okay, there's dot uppercase. Okay, I say oh god, where's my insert that I pressed here by mistake? Okay, so the string object here say to lowercase to uppercase. So return back here, can now say okay to yeah to uppercase function. Okay, to uppercase function. That is it. So that means whatever I enter in this message, system should convert it to what? To uppercase. That's why we have to uppercase, but it's case sensitive here now. So that means upper should be capital or U here. So once I save this page, so let me see again now. And now put something like God be with us. When I click on submit, system should store it to this feedback. I've not done that. So I can copy this one again here and return back here again. So I can now continue here. Okay, so equal to new text. Okay, so this new text is a variable that hold the value we convert to uppercase. You get it now? So and store it, and I'm now sending that new text to what? To feedback. To feedback what? Text box, so that I can see the output right inside it. This is where the feedback is. So if I come back, I say God be with you, and now click on submit. Can you see? It is convert to capital letter. So I can also convert to the small letter now. If I can also convert it to what? To the small letter by using another string object. Not only that again, I can also count the number of elements inside that particular one, that string, by using the variable we call what? Length. Do you get it now? So for example now, I can come down here. If I'm not converting to upper letter, maybe I want to know how many letters in the message the user type, I can say text dot what? Length, th like this, dot length. So I comment this. So the moment I save this and I click on what? God be with us here and submit. Can you see that means the number of letters here is 14. Imagine you are creating a program to say a username must not be more than so value. This one will let you know how many letters is in the username the person will type. When you use something like this one, length. Length tell us the number of letters. So there are many different type of the one of the function, or let me say method, that are available when we are using the string object in JavaScript too. And the next one we want to look at is window. Window is one of the most important objects in JavaScript, simply because the window is a superclass of all the objects. Now, one of the important of the window object is that the window object represent the browser window that display the document, and it also have different type of the property and the methods. Some of the commonly used method window object is open, close, alert, and timeout and close timeout. Even though document is still part of the window object. If I want to display any message, or I want to create a new browser, I can use the window object to achieve that. Because using the window object, you can display your information on a new browser apart from the one we are having here now. Now, let's see how that window object can be used. To implement the window object here now, I want us to create we are going to see that again. Okay, we are going to do that one with this particular event. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Okay. Okay, so we are using this code to implement our window wall object now. So I can now return to my JavaScript here, to my here now. So this object again. Okay, I'll create a new application here now. New HTML page here. So new HTML page, I call it form validation. In this example, we are going to see how to use the window object in form validation here now. Form validation. Okay. .html. Okay, so the code I copy now pasted here now. You get it. Sorry, not this example. Not this example. The example here is showing how to perform the validation. Okay. Okay, so this is a pop-up window. Okay. So I want to use one example now to perform two tasks. I want to show example on how to use the window object at the same time perform the validation now. So that's what I want to do now. So let me now start from here. Instead of displaying this message here now, inside this particular confirm dialog box, I will display the message inside the window wall object. That is it. So this is where the code for the window object is. Okay. And now let me now split the program now. This particular HTML page is performing several tasks. This is the head section. Okay. And where is the head section close? Head section have what? A title tag, style tag. So style tag from here is an internal style, but I'm going to convert it to the external style now. But you just need to see this code here now. So apart from that, again, this is script. I'm going to convert this script to the external script, because the script we have here as well is internal. Okay, so this is the head section here. So the script I need to come is okay. So that's it. So now let me start converting them one by one now. This CSS here now will be external CSS. So I copy this, I'm cutting it out here now. I'm taking it to a page we created for CSS. I'm going to name CSS validation, because I want to see validation.css. Okay, so here is the code in that CSS validation. The code is just to change the appearance of A3 and the button. So here are the rules. Okay, so that's the button and the A3, and here now so I use color. Good. So this will be also small letter, though it does not matter. So, and I'm going to link this particular one CSS to this form validation here now. So this is the head section now. Then I'm going to use the link tag now. I say link, we are going to be link relative equal style sheet, and after that type equal text/css, and the name of the CSS file is href equal what's the folder? CSS folder slash, okay, I didn't put it in quotation. Okay, so CSS folder slash validation CSS now. Okay, validation CSS, and then I close this. So now I just link my CSS to this. The same thing the JavaScript too. I'm also link my JavaScript to the external JavaScript. So I'm copying the code again from here. Okay, so the script is going to be what? Src equal script, and at the same time I'm creating my external JavaScript. I'm going to name that one to validation.js. So, and here I say slash validation.js. Good. So, and this time around, so we close the script here. But inside the validation script, here is the code we want to use. Just like we have been doing here now in calling our script, and say type equal to JavaScript 2, and that will be what we want here too. Okay, so JavaScript has been linking, the CSS has been what linked to. So this is my CSS. Now I want to rearrange my HTML page here now, so that I can see how the form actually look like. So here now, body tag, can see even though this one is not properly arranged. So good. So A3, okay, so there are two breaks between them, and table and tab, table tag. So okay, so tr here now. Okay, so break the tr next tr, and td, so that is the, and this td, and this td now. Okay, so this for the first name now, this for the first name. So this next tr, that's to accept the word, the first name from the user. So here again, accept the last name from the user. Okay, and here again, it will accept the word, the age from the user. So from the user, accept the age, and next one again, accept the address. So this page is just to see how you can perform the validation, that if any of the information we have here is not properly input, system will return what the error. But once it is properly input, okay, so once properly input, every information display on the wall, on the specify wall environment where you want it to. So every information go to display on the window we are going to create by using window wall object. So this is select for gender and option, and closing the select tag, and close the td tag. So I'm trying to rearrange this HTML, and now we close the table here, and there's another input. So this input should be on another row. So here now I say tr here, and I'm going to put the, I'm going to remove this message here. So I'm going to put input type button on another row now. So, and that's this. Okay, so, and that should be here now. Select tag, name, gender, why to go with a small g. Select option, value may. It's not good to be consistent with your HTML tag. It's good to be consistent with your HTML tag here. So here now I save. You said? No, I already double click the option here. Do you get it now? When I double click it, I just collect. I double click the option I copied and now, yes, I copy. So like here now, I can just say select. I'm typing this one here now. So when I click on copy this, I can easily work because it appear only once here. So now, so moment I preview this page here now, we want this page, okay, we want this page a preview, form validation. Let's see, good. Now, this is the page you want to try to see how you can validate it. You get now. So the code we already have is for validation. But let me now apply some CSS to this particular form to change the appearance of how this particular form actually look like here now. So I can return back here and return to the CSS here now. So I can write the CSS. This 40 is too big. I can make it 20, 30 now. Both header 3 and header 1, even though 20. After that again, I now want to write CSS for some of the input type. I'll say input, um, input, I say type equal text. Okay, for any input that is a text, I want the width to be what? 250 pixel. Okay, and the height maybe to be what? 40 pixel. Okay, and padding left for the text you are going to type should be around 10, should not close to the border, should be 10 pixel. Okay, now so let me see the effect of this here now. Can you see that 40 is too white, and that 49, let me say 35 then, and I save this height. Okay, that is it. You can see this one is more transformed now. You can see the address is close to the border here. So let me now apply to the address and gender too. So address and gender. So this for the all the input like first name and the last name. But for the gender now, I can use this one as a select now. This is going to be what? Select, because that's what we use. I'll say select and the word option one tag. So I save this. You notice that one. This the gender too has changed. And the next one here now is for the text area too and button. So the text area, I can specify text one area 2, and this time around I say the width now I make it 250 pixels, but I don't need to set the height for that. And I will specify the button. Okay, input type button again. So input type button. Okay, so for input type button, okay, is it input type button? Yes, input type, I say button now. So I want button to just have this, and the background color now is going to be hash 009900. That is green now. And the text color for the text now should be what? Hash FFF That's white. Okay. So good. But I can remove this border. So let me return back again. Height for the button is, let me say, 45, and I can say border now. Okay, border is none to save us time. Okay, this is the button now. But this is why button move to the end of this place in the left side, in the right side as well. There are a particular CSS we use at the top here that this is applying to the button using ID selector. The margin should be left. So I can remove this CSS. I can go to the validation and remove ID from the button too here. So their CSS will not going to be applied to the button again. Button can come at the center here now. That is it. So okay, can see now. So that is for this button. Now the CSS is true now. The validation they did there is this. That's JavaScript now. So on the JavaScript they have written for this. Let's see what the JavaScript does here now. So I'm saving this particular one page. Now, okay. So I'm saving this page now. In the JavaScript again, there are some code already. If you look at the HTML code we have here is going to cause some JavaScript features. Like here now, we have JavaScript validation, and we have what we call what event, like what on blur event change color. This change color is a JavaScript function. On blur mean when your button is leaving a text box like this, that is blur. When I click here, my text bar will receive a focus. But when I'm moving from first name to the last name, my text bar is losing focus. That is getting blur. It's not receive a focus again. So system should perform some task. The task system want to perform, that's what we call change color, using what we call on blur. Do you get now? So they apply on blur to what? To the name, this is the first name, and the what? Last name, and also to the age, and also to the address. That is it. So that on blur JavaScript code, what it does is this. When you say function change color, good. Function change color. Function change color here simply mean that what? When the JavaScript is, when your element in your input type box is losing focus, called chain blur, and this chain blur have parameter called this. This is referencing this current object here, and the current object here is the input type text. This input type text is the current object here now. So, and this input type here is having something like underline, like an error, is a warning. Because of that warning, I didn't use the placeholder. So I don't use it. When I say placeholder now, and that is equal to what? Of first name. So that error message disappear. You can see now. So, but this is a keyword in JavaScript that reference this particular input type. So it means that what? Once I click on, when my mouse, when I'm leaving the input text on blur occur, and once that on blur occur, the change color function is going to be what? To be triggered. Change color function is going to be what? To be triggered. So change color function is going to be triggered. So, and this change color function is passing this input type text to this change color here. So when you say var is the parameter that holding the input type text. So in this case again, moment I say if var dot value, it means that I'm referencing the input type text, that if the value of the input type text is equal to empty like this, or the value of the input type text, do you get it now, is null. Null means there's no value here. system should not change the background of the input type text. That's a var dot style dot background to what? To pink. Pink is something like a red to call attention of the user. But else mean if the value of the input type is not empty, then background should become what? White here now. And that is it. So if I come back to this page again, and now that what is the validation that you want, instead of typing something here, maybe I forget, I say okay, first name, I say Tunde, you see the thing arrow. When I now say last, I now press enter, can you see now? That means as I'm leaving here, system want to send me a message that something is wrong. And that's why this one is changing the pink, because as this value is empty, the color change to pink. So if I come down here and say 20, and I see movement, nothing. But when I skip the address again, you see again. And when I now set the mail. So this is the purpose of this unblock of this JavaScript function. It's just to make sure that this particular error here is being tracked at any time you are leaving some information with at any time you are leaving your JavaScript. Okay, at any time you are leaving your JavaScript function, and you don't want to write anything inside it. So your input type text is empty. That is when we have what we call the sorry, okay. So that is when we have the mouse now. So at any time you did not input a value inside this, that's when system unblock occur and you are trying to move to the next line. Wow. But the next part of this one now here is the first function that says show. The show function occur if you click on the button register me. System call the show function, and what the show function does is every information you input from your HTML. So every information you input from the HTML form that you already entered the value perfectly, system retrieve it one by one. So after retrieving it, system is now going to create the object in window. That's what I'm talking about now, window object. So when create the window object, you use window.open. This window.open means the system creating a new window browser. So and the name is product order here, just a sample name. They define the width and the height. So we are now using the name of that window object we created by using this open. Because open create a new window object. So we give it that window object we give it a name pop-up. So now that's the pop-up document.write. That means we want to display a message on that new window browser. And the message is going to be something like this: hello, I'm a new window. And the second one is we want to write something on that window like write the full name. The full name is going to be name we already input, like a first name and the last name. The next one is the age and the address. So here now I can change this one to the age. I can change this one to the address. Okay, and the last one is gender now. So since I want the gender, I can also add a new pop-up here that can now return okay, this one is going to be for the gender, age and gender here now. Okay, why this is going to be for for the only the address. Okay, can you see now? So all this is going to display in the new window. So it means that the moment your form is filled perfectly and there's no data, there's no error, system take us to this particular window. Now look at here again. I say Tunde and Tunde Bakari. Okay, address 1111 Johnson Street, 11 Aston Villa. Hmm? Abuja. Okay. And gender now is male. Okay. And now click on register me. You can see all the information now displayed. This is a new window we just created now. Can you see now? Different from the existing window. So you might want to display some information on a new window like this. You get me? When you are creating your website, that's why we make use of the word a browser.worm. Sorry, that's why they make use of the word of this command which called a window dot open to open a new window and display the message there. So this is where we are stopping for today now, and at the same